Oh man, we're back with the one and only, the most hated but the most loved at the same time. Charleston White back on Say Cheese. How you doing?
You really think I'm the most hated?
I
Nigga,
think I think it's a hate love relationship.
nigga, I ain't done nothing to now, motherfucker, for a motherfucker to
I
hate me. Motherfucker
I
might
think
not like me.
I think hate and love. You gotta hate somebody. You gotta love somebody to hate them.
Yeah. I guess that's how they do us celebrities. Yeah, they love us to hate us then. Yeah.
Because I mean, if you look online, there are people who saying they'll do certain things to you when they see you, but when they see you, they don't do it. So it's like, I think people hate you, and then when they really get to see you in person, it's not really the same energy.
Yeah, I'm too little for people to want to hate me. I don't pose no threat to nobody, little old bit of me.
I also did want to talk to you about this. You're from Fort Worth. I just put out a article about Fort Worth being the fastest growing city in the country.
Yeah, we supposed to surpass Dallas in like 5 to 10 years.
Yes. Is that the Charleston White effect?
No. We started moving up in the rankings like 7, 8 years ago. So I think like 8 years ago we moved up to like 5th to 16th, and then within 1 or 2 years we moved to 15th. This is a family oriented city. If you don't go to the hood, right? So if you don't go inside the loop, inside the inner cities, this is where you would want to raise your families. This is a great place for a school, housing, job-wise. When the job crisis hit America, 2006, 2007, we really wasn't affected by jobs here. And then a big plus is this is the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area. It's a felony-friendly environment, right? So the county hire felons. Lockheed Martin hire felons. General Motors, Frito-Lay. So this is a felony-friendly climate where you can come down here, homie, and really change your life if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. I mean, a decade ago, and it still goes by Worth. Fort Worth didn't really have that the reputation that it has now as far as the economy. A lot of people were really scared of Fort Worth about a decade ago.
Fort Worth, San Antonio, Beaumont, Galveston, those were gang-banging cities. Dallas and Houston really wasn't a gang-banging city. Fort Worth was a gang-banging town. When gang-banging came, they incorporated it and emulated it almost like this was a baby California. San Antonio was the same way. Beaumont, Texas, Galveston, Texas, yeah, they were gang-banging hard, homie. So that really hit this state hard. So it did develop the name Worth. But once they started countering the gang violence and the gang activities with police forces like Weed and Seed, they developed a zero tolerance a mindset, not just in the police department as well as in the court systems around here. So while they was calling this murder worth, there was a lot of young niggas getting 99 years for murder. Under a law where they can get out in 30 or 40 years. There was a lot of niggas getting life with parole where they have to do 40 at 15 and 16. There was a lot of niggas getting certified and tried as adults at 14 and 15 when this was worth. And what happened to this city, homie? This is an agricultural state. This is a working town. This was a town full of hustlers. This was a big town full of hustlers, gamblers. So when gangbanging showed up, the kids took to the streets. And that's when the dynamics of the city changed. Because prior to gangbanging, no one sold dope in the community. Everybody sold dope from a business, from a tire shop, a mechanic shop, a laundromat, a pool hall. They brought the dope and the street activities away from the women, children, and old people. Once the gangbanging came, now they brought it to the neighborhood. Now you got the trap houses, niggas hanging out in the front yard, hustling and up the neighborhood. So is it worth now? it's nothing like what it was. We seen a 3 or 4 year span of young kids like J-Dub, Go Yayo them. You know, we seen a spurt of violence. But homie, I was in the schools, I was in the juvenile systems, combating that violence. I was in the city council meetings every week, combating that violence, as well as fighting in the community because they supported the violence. They supported the Go Yayos. They love Lil J-Dub and them. So I was squabbling with the clubs who were letting them get in with the gun. So it's a difference now. The police department now has a VIP program that's similar to the one that was developed in California years ago. It's a violent intervention program where they use formerly incarcerated men, former gang members who once and still have a little weight in the streets, who can show up at murder scenes and talk to both sides. So they got a lot of funding for that now. So we're seeing things change because we're seeing more youth engagement programs, youth development programs, not just in the community, but at the middle schools and high school levels too. So I think more people in this city, in this area, are now trying to focus more on the youth violence overall than just gun violence.
I mean, Fort Worth is the gang capital of Texas, but how much has it changed drastically? Do you notice a change in Fort Worth, the culture now?
Yeah. These niggas ain't gang banging no more. These niggas is rap banging, click banging, because in most of the little rap cliques, you got what the police call a hybrid gang, right? So you got hybrid gangs. You got Crips and Bloods that make up this one clique, and they gang. You got kids who became Crip because their daddy was a Blood, and their daddy was a big time Blood. So part of their rebellion is to go become opposite of what their daddy became. Then you got a lot of kids who fathers who got big names, and they feel an obligation to fill those shoes. What's changed about Fort Worth now is, if a kid get caught with a gun now, they're not gonna let him out till he tell where he got that gun from, or where the gun is now. If they know, if Judge Alex Kim know he got a gun. What's changed about Fort Worth now is these niggas scared of gang unit more than what gang unit is the only ones can make these niggas get naked in the streets. Take your shirt off, turn around, let me take pictures, throw up your signs. What's different now is babies. It's babies that's being allowed to come out and play in the streets. When we started coming, we really had teenager guys who was misleading us. So our OGs, so when we were 14, 15, homie, our OGs was 18, 19. Them niggas still kids they sell. You had the 21-year-old niggas who thought you put the young nigga in the spot, you give him 500 heroin pills. You give him a 100 slab of dope, and he make 20 off every 100. So that's when it changed. So they was putting dope in our hands, homie, to sell and make money. Now what we seeing is somebody's putting guns in children's hands. And I know how we got guns. We broke into houses. We found us a corner house with a boat, and we broke into houses. That's typically how we got guns as a kid. But these kids here are getting military type guns, homie. That's what's different. The level of culpability, the level of understanding, the lack, the ability to really understand consequences. That's scary. The internet makes it different. You can create an enemy just surfing the internet, and now you got a op now. Mm-hmm. Just by being on the internet, you don't even know them. Now you got an op just from waking up logging on the internet. Whereas you would have to go out. You had to. You see what I'm saying? So, but most importantly, what's different is, this is an illiterate group. I'm gonna say it again. This is an illiterate group. Only 36 Only 36% of children in the Fort Worth Independent School District can read on or above their grade level. I'm not gonna name the school, but nigga, there's a school, nigga, where the 9th grade, damn near all them niggas in special ed.
What's this, high school?
Yeah.
Damn near.
I ain't gonna do them people like that. But damn near all the 9th grade in special ed, my nigga. This group is illiterate. This group here struggles with not just reading, but reading comprehension. So in order for you to spell words like LMK or LMFAO, what's that other one? They spell hell,
as hell, ASL.
Yeah, so in order for you to rewire your brain.
Chicago started that though.
But they can't read in Chicago neither. Them niggas dumb in the motherfucker up there. Them babies in Chicago dumb in the motherfucker. You hear how they rap? That's where mumbling rapping come from. Nigga, mumbling can't pronounce words. Don't know what them words is. So lack of education is what you see in the hip hop community because the hip hop community don't value education. If a nigga can play basketball, nigga, he don't value education enough to go get the education, then go to the league. So they can't read, they can count, they lack reading comprehension. And there's nothing in schools or there's nothing really at home to help this group of gangsters or this group of gangbangers help them with their critical thinking skills. That's why most of their crimes are so brazen. They can't critically think. That's why you see a 10-year-old little boy get bullied with a bag of chips and go straight to the car and come out and shoot a gun immediately. Start shooting people. He can't critically think. There's nothing in our society right now that's developing critical thinking skills. There's nothing in the black community, there's nothing in the hip hop community, my nigga, that helps a nigga understand when he reads something, how to read to comprehend. That's why folks argue over posts. That's why this group of people seem like they can't understand nothing and they can't get along with nothing because they lack the ability to comprehend. So this is the group that says, you have to be to work tomorrow at 9 o'clock, you get off at 6 o'clock, you off on Fridays and Saturdays, you get this is the group you tell how to, they can't think outside the box. So they don't know that anger is a natural emotion. They don't know it's all right to get mad. It's what you do when you get mad, right? So some niggas, soon they get mad, homie, their initial thought is to hurt you. Whether that's their sister, the supervisor at work, their initial thought is to hurt you. They don't have the abilities and the skill to think away from hurting somebody, to weigh the cost and the benefits, to say, okay, well, maybe they don't have that ability, homie. So until their brain develop, this group of gangsters or this group of gangbangers, they the planet of the apes when the apes got the guns. They the monkeys with the guns. They the monkeys with the guns, and a lot of people go die. So lack of education. Lack of education, homie, is what's different now. We had some sort of education. That's why when them niggas come back from prison, they can speak Arabic. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. They can speak Hebrew language. They can go down there and read about black people was the real Jews 50,000 years ago. This group here, you got to tell them about that. They ain't gonna be able to read it. The Book of Eli. Go back and watch the movie, The Book of Eli. That group, sitting on side the road behind a car, broke down car, ready to jump out and attack. That group. And hey, they don't know nothing about picking up a book.
But before we move on, I want to go back to Fort Worth for a minute. You repeatedly said that Stop 6 wasn't always hood. What was the first hood in Fort Worth? Was it Eastwood? Was it Southside? Was it
Como, Southside, and Stop 6 was the three predominantly black neighborhoods in Fort Worth, Texas, and these were prominent communities. The projects up until the 90s have always produced the brightest students at schools. The project children have always been manageable up until the crack epidemic. Those was always the best performing, brightest students in class was the project children. The kids who had to walk to school through the mud. Those were always your shining stars in class. It wasn't until the 90s where we thought being dumb was cool. Stop 6 gets its name because it was the sixth stop, the last stop where black people could get off on the bus. Eastwood was a community where people had gardens in the backyard. They got big backyards. You see ranches in Eastwood, so that's more country. That's the country. Where you walk through Eastwood, you used to could just eat off the trees. You got pears. You used to could eat off the trees. They had gardens. People still own their homes over there. Stop 6, Bunch Park, Amanda, Stall Cup. They had prominent black businesses in Stop 6 up until the 80s, the 90s. Downtown, Fort Worth, they had a black section in downtown, Jones Street, 9th Street, one of them 6th Street. Homie, they had dentist offices. They had black businesses down there, black movie theaters. Same with Como. Southside, homie, you had Dr. Brooks. You had a black dentist office. So this was a prominent town, homie. It was affected by heroin during the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, just like New York was. So it was a big heroin epidemic that came, but it's always been a working town. And Fort Worth is a military town. It's a fort. We have a military base here. The Mint is here, where they make money. We got nuclear plants right outside of here. So there's always have been a military town. So when gangbanging showed up, there was always a fascination with California. Motherfucker come through the South with California plates, damn near can get his dick sucked at every house he stopped at, because we were fascinated with the Hollywood. So when they showed us colors, and they commercialized it, it set like a wildfire. But if you go back and watch the movie, that shit with the crack, Snowfall, it showed you how gangbanging came down here. They didn't bring gangbanging down here to teach us gangbanging. Them niggas brought crack, and we just picked up on the gangbanging because we were fascinated and it was impressionable. It was impressionable. The camaraderie, the false sense of love amongst brothers, the brotherly love. It played on a bunch of young boys, because what I realized is boys join gangs, men don't. Men don't. Yeah, when a man realized he got to be with other men, most men will run from that mindset. Waking up every day have to be with another man. My loyalty have to be to this man and all these other men, and none of us are really loyal to what we claim we're loyal to.